The tiniest of tiniest fleas can jump 33 centimeters or up to 33 centimeters, which is about 13 inches high. Now, just to give you a sense, that's 200 times their height. Now that would be the equivalent of a 6-foot human, or essentially about an 82 centimeter person being able to jump a 90-story building, which is incredible capacity for a flea, of course. But the interesting thing is that when you put fleas into a jar, their initial response is to jump out of the jar immediately. However, when we put a cap on the jar, what happens is we begin to limit their potential. Now, a number of experiments were created where essentially that was done. And what they did is they put these fleas in the jar, they put the lid on the jar, and they found that after 3 days, what happened was something fascinating occurred. What occurred was that the fleas no longer, once they took off the lid, could no longer jump outside of the jar. In fact, they would jump only as high as the lid itself, or just under. But the fascinating thing was that not only did those fleas limit their potential, but so too did their children. So all the baby fleas, as they became adults, could only jump as high as the jar that they were encased within. So no longer did they have that potential of being able to jump 33 centimeters. When we look at that and transfer that across to our human potential, is what do we do to ourselves? There is no lid, there is no jar, but there's a metaphorical limit that we place within ourselves. Now, that limit is largely learned. That limit is learned through our parents, our upbringing, our significant people that we experience in our lives will largely determine how high we will jump. In fact, in what we call the imprint period, that is the period from when we're 0 to 7, our neural connections grow at enormous rates. That is, we start building our conscious recognition, or preparing ourselves certainly for conscious recognition. And what occurs is that we observe our world and we can see what is possible and what is not possible. Just like the fleas, we will determine our own limits. So it's time to take off the lid. So in the next YouTube, I'll be talking about some strategies as to how to take off the lid. Bye for now, and may you enjoy the power of your beliefs.